that all of this, although it seems overwhelming and it's a tremendous task that we're undertaking right now, we have everything that we need to get through this. Each and every one of us are not here by accident, and we're not connecting to certain people who understand what we're talking about and want to work with each other by accident. This is all by design, and there is really no right or wrong or good or bad to this thing. It's all about moving in this place where your heart stays open and you can be compassionate, and it's not about money, and it's not about fame or business savvy, and all that is, they're really going to go down with the dinosaurs when this whole thing goes down. And that's what the Illuminati, I think, is starting to see, that this is a power that is much greater than what they had realized. And if they don't get the swine flu off the ground and something, some major war going, they're screwed. The plot is thickened and it's not on their side, because we have the power in the numbers, and we have the power of our collective consciousness.
So we are eternal. I didn't throw that word in there earlier, Nate. We are eternal creator gods, and they don't want us to know our true capabilities of what we are truly capable as human beings. We were put here to create. We obviously don't need a monetary system or none of this nonsense that is really just captivating us and our family members here, like on the earth. It's just change. We need change. We need to decapitate the tip of the pyramid that has us all under control. And it's so easy. I mean, I think about it sometimes. It is difficult in a sense, but at the same sense, it is extremely easy. And this is the way I'm going to think, to get rid of that system. We are the people. There's billions. There's over 6 billion of us. I mean, just 13 families. If we can't take over 13 families, maybe we don't deserve to, maybe that's not our destiny. I think we need to start putting the thought out there so we can create it and make it a reality. This whole holographic effect. How can we get rid of these 13 families to where they're not controlling 6 billion people? It's not that difficult, really.
Right. And the best thing to do, because we are outnumbering them, is to not play into and not buy into any of their
all
games.
Their bullshit.
And if you see it for what it is, you can disengage in it. And as we fall and disengage, and that's what, it's not like the whole system is going to collapse. We're resourceful. A new way of being will actually put itself in place where we will serve one another, instead of thinking that we're going to be served by something that's going to save us, that never does, and puts us in a worse position than where we were before, because we don't have the whole picture and the understanding about it. And I would just say, pray for these 13 families, because they have extended families and loved ones, and they have a stake in their transformation of their consciousness too, which is obviously going to have to change.
Right.
And possibly through what I've been hearing, some of the things that through some of their connections through their families, they have been touched by certain things that they were not aware of that were in place, and they are spiritually have grown, and they want to move into a different direction against what.
So it's like our awakening as a collective consciousness. It could awaken, the people at the top of the power structure. Mm-hmm. That's
absolutely
possible.
I was just weeding my garden, and it gets constantly. I've been here 8 years, loaded with all these weeds all the time, and I live on a couple of acres of land. And I just noticed that I got to the point where it wasn't killing my plants anymore. The plants have gotten big enough where the weeds, although they still come, are easily detected, and I could pull them out, and they're being killed by the plants. It's taken over. So I'm just thinking, you nurture something, a way of life, a passion for peace and love, and you believe in that cause, and you do whatever it is that's in your area expertise that you can possibly do without destroying, your lifestyle or your family, or, without being destructive to anything else. In a very positive way, we can find ways where we can move through this, where it will affect the rich and powerful 13 families and the people sort of below them, who think they're going to be part of these 13 families that aren't really, they might realize, you know what? After us, they're next,
Exactly. Celebrities, keep that in mind.
Keep that in mind, because all of this is just illusion, it's just a joke. And nothing that is not life-sustaining, anything that's not life-sustaining could never keep on for the long haul, could never withstand that power, that force.
Like any wickedness eventually comes to an end.
It comes to an end. It's just the natural balance of things. And so I have a lot of faith that in my own in my own world that I've created in my own mind, that want to be. I see this and I want to make it positive. So I see these people changing, maybe at the last minute, moving into places where they have loved ones and family members that are awakening, and they're saying, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to, as much as I care and want all the things that you believed in, I see that this is destructive. I believe that the DNA, because it can move through anything. That's how miraculous the DNA is. So it affects us. I mean, it affects our pets. It affects the plants and animals and things around us. It's got to affect these people that are, there's going to be the few that are just so hooked up onto this occult thing that, unfortunately they're going to go down,
or
with the ship.
Maybe like they're the reptilians themselves, or the
and they may be the reptilians themselves. That's going to be interesting to see an actual reptilian. I hear how you kill a reptilian if they go to kill you, because they like to eat you alive. And this is, you can laugh about it. I just read about it. I'm not even sure if it's true, but their hearts are under their armpits, so you have to stab under their armpits, or go right below the belly where their liver is. It's the only way you can kill them.
So like a sharp object or something.
If you had to, fight the good fight of faith and, defend your family, that's where you probably would have to aim for. Unfortunately,
So if you see one, just be like, put your hands up. And if he does,
use your little laser light beam there to get them in his little hearts and liver sections. They're quite big, they say, because they can't disguise their size. So they're, actually,
and they could shapeshift into a regular-looking human. They say the Bush regime and some top elite evil people could possibly be this reptilian race that has infiltrated our government, politics, you name it, healthcare.
And they've mutated some of them that are more up, up 6 and 7 feet, but they can be as high as 20 to 25 feet tall. Wow. So you don't want one of those those guys heading at you, breaking into your screen enclosure. Give him what he wants, or you're going to have to fight that good fight of faith there with them. I don't think you'll have a lot of reasoning, because they're not spiritually evolved. They're mutated, which is what they're trying to do.
And Jordan Maxwell had an incredible story and testimony about a little girl that he mentioned on the LA conference with Project Camelot, and he was saying the story. There was like one of these top secret clearance guys that, are the first guy that arrives when there is a UFO crash to retrieve everything. He's the man in charge. He calls the shots. He has this information that nobody else has, because, that's his job. And he had a daughter, and, there was military security always around the house, and she was never alone for her entire life, and all she wanted was a day alone without other people. So her dad granted her wish, and that's when she experienced the reptilian firsthand, and it was just an incredible story. If you want to learn more about that, you can listen to Jordan Maxwell's newer presentation from the LA conference with Project Camelot. It was quite interesting to hear.
Interesting, and interesting to see Jordan Maxwell is quite frightened about this stuff too. Yeah. It's really shaking him up. But I'm going to go the route of David Wilcox, where I believe that